Hello, folks. This is Tom Martin. This is my lottery strategy game, Decoding the Powerball, the Powerball guessing game. I'm picking my numbers to the drawing on March 22nd, 2023. If you'd like to support my game, Decoding the Powerball, then please go to my Patreon page at www.patreon.com/Decoding the Powerball. Thank you, and please subscribe. Okay, so if you've never seen my videos before, the object of my game is for you to correctly eliminate groups of numbers. There are 69 white ball numbers in the Powerball lottery. Only 5 numbers can come up as winners, so that means 64 numbers can't come up at all. So for me, I think it should be easier to pick the numbers that won't be coming up than the 5 that actually do. Okay, with this video, I invite you to grab some paper and play along. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call the game card. This is where I try to eliminate the numbers and try to get it down to the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so you can see that I have 5 colors on my game card. They are red, orange, green, blue, and purple. And these represent the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do here is go to the Powerball homepage and find out what were those 5 white winning numbers. And they were the 1, 27, 32, 47, and 67. The Powerball number was the 14, but right now I'm only concerned about these 5 white ball numbers. Okay, so you can see I have those at the top of this list here. And now I'm going to put some colors to it like I did here in the past. Okay, so I'm going to get the colors off of the game card. So this game card is for March 20th. So I need to update it to the 22nd, okay? But before I do, I need to get the colors. Okay, so the 1 was blue, the 27 was orange, the 32 was green, the 47 was blue, and the 67 was green. Okay, so again, the 1 and the 47 was blue, the 27 was orange, the 32 and 67 were green. Okay, so out of all 5 colors, 3 colors came up. And now I'm going to keep track of 226 color code drawings so far. And now a 3 color combination has now come up 108 times. Okay, so you can see a 3 color combination comes up the most. Okay, so what that means is that 2 colors are not coming up the most, and that's what I want to focus on here. Okay, so I want to try to correctly guess what color group will not be coming up, and I want to eliminate those numbers off of my game card. Okay, but what I need to do is update my game card, so I'm going to get rid of all these colors and start from scratch. Okay, so my color code is right here. Here's the red numbers, the orange, green, blue, and whatever's left over is purple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer these 15 numbers over to the game card as red numbers. Okay, so I'll start in with the 1, the 27, the 32, 47, and 67. The next line down is the 14, the 20, 30, 54, and 69. And the last line is the 16, 18, 33, 37, and 50. So again, I'm going to make these red. Okay, so none of these numbers repeated. So I have 15 numbers on my game card. So I'm going to put that right up here as 15. Okay, so up here tells me of how many numbers I have per color. Okay, so moving on to the orange, I'm going to transfer these 20 numbers over to the game card as orange numbers. Okay, so I'm going to start in with the 3, the 10, the 24, 46, 63. The next line down is the 11, the 20, which is already taken, the 33 is already taken, so the 43 and 58. The next line down is the 26, the 27 is already taken, the 43 is taken, so the 61 and 69 is taken. Okay, so the last line is the 2, the 13, the 29, 58, and 69, which are already taken. So again, I'm going to make these orange. And now I'm going to count how many I have. So over here, I got 6, 2 are 8, 2 are 10, and 3 are 13. So up here, I'm going to make this 13. Okay, so now I'd move on to the green area, then the blue, and again, whatever's left over is purple. But you can see I already made this game card up for the 22nd, so I'm just going to copy and paste just to speed things up a little bit. Okay, so again, there was 15 red numbers, 13 orange, turned out to be 15 green, 13 blue, and 13 purple numbers. Okay, so why is this important that I did this? Okay, so I found out by trial and error with my color code here that it gives me consistent double-digit numbers per color. Okay, and the important thing about consistency is that when something's consistent, then things can get predictable. Okay, so I'm going to make a prediction on what color will not be coming up, and I'm going to go with orange. Okay, and the reason why is because an orange number has come up in the last 7 drawings. Okay, so this is the thing when you have, again, consistent with double-digit numbers here. You know, it doesn't go on, these colors don't go on that long of a streak. Okay, like here's the blue, it's gone on a streak of 3. You know, here's one with the red, a streak of 5. Okay, so, you know, it goes a streak of 5, 6. You know, here's the orange, we're going 7. I'm going to predict that no orange numbers are going to come up, so I'm going to eliminate these orange numbers off of my game card. Okay, so the question is can an orange number come up? Yes, absolutely it can. Okay, so this is where the betting comes in. Okay, so I'm going to spend $3 on my Powerball ticket, which includes the power play. Okay, so in other words, I'm betting my $3 that none of these orange numbers will come up. Okay, so if I'm correct with my guess and none of these orange numbers come up, then I just reduce the odds for myself, giving myself better odds of winning some kind of prize with the Powerball lottery. Okay, so that was my first guess. And now we're going to move on to my second strategy, which is called the individual numbers. Okay, so maybe you heard the saying divide and conquer. This is what I'm trying to do. I came up with different angles to take a look at different groups of numbers, and I'm just going to try to conquer one at a time. Okay, so hopefully I got this right and I conquered this one. And now I'm going to move on to the individual numbers where I'll show you how I set this up. Okay, so here's the winning numbers over here, the 1, 27, 32, 47, 67. Okay, and here's the 1 for the individual numbers, and I'm going to come down to this square and I'm going to make it blue. I'm making it blue because the 1 is blue. Okay, so this is how this works hand in hand with the color code. Okay, so I look for a color that hasn't come up in a little while, and then I try to predict when it is going to come up. Okay, so I want to point this out with the 20 numbers here. You can see that there's 3 red numbers here, and then I'm going to go down, way down here until I see this other red. Okay, so as I was doing my videos here, I was going up and I was talking about this, saying, hey, I don't see a red number. I think a red number is going to be coming up pretty soon, and finally it did with the 23. Okay, so now you can see red numbers are coming up at a regular clip now. Okay, so that's what I tried to do. And then another one, just last, well, the other drawing here, I was looking at this green. I was saying, hey, I haven't seen a green number in a long time. I think it's going to come up. So it was either the 51 or the 54. I think the 55 was also green, but I said, you know, I think one of these numbers are going to come up, and the 51 came up. I thought it was going to, the 54 came up. I thought it was going to be the 51. So this is how I use this, okay? So this big square right here, this is good for 5 drawings, okay? And the reason why I did that is just so it's easier to count. So when I see something like this green, I can say, okay, the green number hasn't come up in 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 34 drawings here. Okay, so it gives me a clue of how long it's been, and that's how I look at it. Okay, but since I did this, since I broke it up into 5 drawings like this, I noticed that the average is like 4 hits. Okay, so this is below average here for the 50s. Here's the 40s, a little below average, and here's the 30s, above average at 5. This is average at 4. Here's another one above average, and this one's way below average. Okay, so I got this one correct for the last drawing. I said, hey, it's been above average. I'm going to say that none of these 10 through 19 numbers are going to come up. And you can see that they didn't come up because the numbers were the 127.32, so just jumped right over these. Okay, so what I did is I broke these 69 numbers down into 7 different groups. Okay, so this group of 1 through 9, this is the only group with 9 numbers, of course, where the other 6 have 10 numbers to them. Okay, so I'm just going to reduce this down so you can see the whole card. Okay, so again, what I look for is a color that hasn't come up in a while. So here I'm looking at, there's 5 colors, the red, orange, green, blue, purple. They're all right around here, so that's really no big help, okay? But what is kind of a big help is to see that it's very sparse through here. Again, the average is 4. And this has been below average for a little while now. Okay, so I'm thinking that the numbers of 1 through 9 are going to start to get hot. Okay, and I think the numbers of 10 through 19, you can see how hot these have been. Here's it's been 5 hits, 5 hits, 4, 5, another 4, 4, 4, and finally just 1 here. So this has been just really, really hot, and my gut feeling is that, with only 5 white winning Powerball numbers in 7 different groups here, how hot can this stay, So I'm going to predict that things are going to slow down, and I'm going to predict that there's going to be no winning Powerball numbers, actually right here. So I'm going to go back to the game card, and I'm going to eliminate the numbers of 10 through 19 off of my game card, okay, because I don't think that they're going to come up. Okay, so I'm going to blow this back up. Go back to my game card. Okay, so 10 through 19, so I'll get rid of the 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. And hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so if I made the correct pick so far, and no orange numbers come up from the color code, and now no numbers of 10 through 19 come up, then again, I just reduced the odds for myself by a lot here, okay? I still got a long way to go. But again, this is divide and conquer, so I'm going to move on to my next strategy, which is called Group 4. Okay, so why I call this Group 4 is because I divided it into 4 different color groups, okay? I also have Group 6, Group 8, and Group 10, okay? And the reason why I have just the even numbers like that is so I could have an even number on the left side and right side, and now I could get a majority of things, okay? So since there's 5 white ball numbers, there's going to be a majority. Okay, so I'll give you a visual here. So I'm going to update this. So the 1 came up, that's the only one in red, so I'm going to put a 1 here. And then the next one was 27 and then 32, so they're both in the blue. So I'm going to mark that in the blue, 2 in the blue area. And then the 47 was in the orange, and the 67 was in the green. So all 4 colors got hit, and the majority of the numbers were over here to the left side, so I'm going to keep this for red. If the majority was over here to the right side, I would color the 4 green. Okay, so it just gives me some separation. So when I see, something that's been really green, it's either green or red. It's kind of like flipping a quarter, heads or tails. How long can it come up heads before it comes up tails? Same thing here. How long can it go green before it starts turning red? Okay, so if all 3 of them like this, I give it a dark color. And if there's only 2 red, I'll give it a lighter red color for the background. And then the same with the green. Okay, so up here, if there's a triple hit like this at the top, I'm going to color this a dark red. And if there's only 2 hits, I color it a lighter red. Same thing with the blue, and darker blue for all 3 zeros. Okay, so here, how many blue marks came up like this? There's none. And then over here, how many triple hits did I have? I had 2. Okay, so again, the object of the game is try to eliminate groups of numbers, so I'm trying to pick where the 0 is going to be. Like this one right here. If I could correctly guess that none of these orange numbers were going to come up, I could have eliminated all those orange numbers off of my game card. And again, gave myself a much better chance of winning some kind of prize in the Powerball lottery. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so you can see that when the 3rd number comes up, I put colors to it. Okay, so this is the advantage that I'm trying to create. Okay, so I have 7 of these option cards. And then with my group 6, I have 7 as well. Okay, so I'm going to move on to my Powerball number 2. Okay, so the reason why I keep track of every 3 drawings like this and then start a new line is so I can have 3 different Powerball angles here. Okay, so I'm going to update this one. So it was the 1 in red, 27 in orange, 32's in the red, 47's in the green, and 67 is in the orange. Okay, so I had 2 in the red, the 132, and then I don't believe I had any blue. And then for the orange, I had the 2767, and then the 47 was green. Okay, so I had 3 out of 4 colors have come up, and the majority of the numbers are over here to the right side, so I'm going to keep this 3 green. Okay, so here's the strategy. Try to pick where this 0 is going to come up. So if I could have correctly guessed that none of these blue numbers were going to come up in the last drawing, well, I could have knocked out 4, 8, 12, 16, 17 numbers. That's pretty good. Okay, so here I got 1 number at the top, which is an advantage over this last one where I have no numbers at the top. Okay, and now I got Powerball number 3 where I'm going to have 2 numbers at the top. Okay, so again, the numbers were 1, 27, both in the yellow. Then I had 32 in the orange, 47 in the blue, and 67 in the red. So I had no winning Powerball numbers in the green area and no winning Powerball numbers in the purple. It hit 4 color groups, and the majority of the numbers are over here to the left side, so I'm going to color this for red. Okay, so the advantage is I have 2 numbers here at the top, and now I'm going to be putting colors to it. Okay, and now I get to use these tools over here that tells me, okay, how many blue marks do I think are going to be? Okay, so there's usually a blue mark. I don't see any zeros over here. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4 opportunities. This one's already going to be a red mark, and this one's already going to be a red mark. Okay, so over here I get to use these tools as well to say, okay, how many triple hits? I have the yellow and the red as an opportunity for a triple hit, and that usually comes up a lot too. Okay, and then I get to use this as well, where it says, okay, it's been coming up a lot of red, which means the majority of the Powerball numbers have been coming up over here to the left side. And I'm looking at this saying, you know, I think that this is going to be a green number. I think it's going to keep on this green streak. So I think the majority of the numbers will be over here to the right side. Which means I kind of think that this yellow is going to have a hit to it. So I think one of these numbers, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 numbers here, I think at least one is going to come up. Okay, but again, I'm trying to pick where a 0 is going to be. Okay, and this green one looks pretty good because you can see this big streak of red. Between here and here is 5 of these. Okay, 15 drawings, but you know, and out of you can just see that out of just about let's see, 15 drawings, 18, 21, 24, 27 drawings here. It's been just really hot, and now I'm thinking that there's going to be a 0 here. Okay, so you know, again, what gets hot eventually turns cold. Okay, but I think the majority of the numbers are going to be on this side, so I'm just going to leave this one alone, and I'm going to move on to the next one. Okay, so this is why I gave myself so many option cards, so I could cherry pick through these things and, I don't know, look at the ones that just really stand out to me. Okay, so over here this blue really stands out, and the thing that I'm looking at is this 0, how it's kind of like it's just a single 0. Okay, and what I mean by that is over here you got 2 in a row. Okay, so it came up 0 0 0, then up 0 0. Okay, so this went 5 zeros, 5 drawings in a row where none of these purple numbers came up. Okay, so I'm looking at this blue, and it's a single 0, single, 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 single. Okay, and right here it doubles up. But it just doesn't go this far without doubling up somehow. Okay, so it's gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're over here, you can see, well, it already doubled up right here, but before that it's been 1, 2, 3, and then that's it, you know. So it's gone pretty far. So yeah, and that's all those 10 through 19 numbers still. I'm gonna go with this one, and I'm gonna start from the 12 and end up at the 23. So I'll get rid of the 20, 21, 22, and 23. And hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so moving on. Again, I got this big purple thing. Okay, so the first thing I usually like to look at is what's been happening overall. You know, it's been going back and forth. I kind of think that this is going to be a green number, which means I believe the majority of the numbers will be on this side. Now, a triple hit comes up a lot, okay? So, you see there's 2 zeros in there, but, you know, the rest. So I got the yellow and I got the red. Okay, a 000. That doesn't come up as much, but you know, I see 4 zeros here. Maybe it's due to hit one. Okay, the only one here would be the green. All right, I'm gonna move on. Okay, so here's just the overview of things. You can see that the yellow has been really hot here. Maybe it's time to cool off. Same here with the orange. You know, it's been 5 red marks in a row. You know, it happens. It just doesn't happen that much. Okay, so I'm going to leave that alone. Okay, so moving on to the next one I have. Call it 6B. I'm going to go right to the overview this time. Let's take a look at all 3 of these option cards, what they've been doing. You know, sometimes a 0-3 like this will double up, like right here. Got this big hot streak right here in the green, so maybe this is going to be another blue mark. Alright, let's take a look here. Okay, so here, this tells me how many blue marks there was. There was 2. And then this tells me if there was a 0-3, there was, and this was a 3-0. Okay, so we'll take a look at this here. Again, the first thing I like to do is take a look over here. I'm thinking that this is going to be a green number, which I believe the majority of the numbers will be on this side. You know, this red over here has just been really, really hot. I I think I'll go with this one. I think that 0 is going to be right here. So I'm going to mark this blue. And why I mark this is that when I come back through to update this, I can say, hey, none of these red numbers came up. I got this correct. Or one of them came up and burned me, you know. So I'm going to go with the 1, 11, 18, 30. So I'll get rid of the 1 and the 30, and hopefully those numbers do not come up. And then I'll get rid of the 16, 31, 34. So I'll get rid of the 31, 34. And then I'll get rid of the 38, 54, 65. So I get rid of 3 more numbers, and again, hopefully they do not come up. And the 39, 59. Okay, so that got rid of a lot of numbers, so hopefully I'm correct on that. Okay, so moving on. Again, a 000 doesn't happen often. But I do have one. You know, most of these color groups already have some kind of 000 to it. This one already has 3 of them. Just this red and this purple that doesn't have a 000 yet. So hopefully this is due to have it. Hopefully I'll be putting a 1 right over here. You can see it's been a lot of green, which means the majority of the numbers have been coming up over here. So hopefully this is just due to cool down. And I'm going to go for it. Okay, so I'll get rid of the 210 and then the 8 to the 34. So I'll get rid of the 8. And then I'll get rid of the 52, 61, 40, 50, 60. So I'll get rid of the 40, 50, 52, and the 60. 4 more numbers off my game card, and hopefully I made the correct picks there. Okay, so moving on. Well, certainly this green sticks out the most. I'm looking at this thinking that this is going to be a red number, which means I believe the majority will be over here. And this orange certainly looks pretty good, so let's see what I have on the game card. I believe the 429. So I still got a bunch over here. Okay, so this is a pretty good streak of red. I believe that this is going to be a red number. I'm thinking that this is going to be a 0 right here. And I'm going to go for it. Okay, so I'll get rid of the 10, 11, 9, 10, 11 actually, 18, 19, 20. So I'll get rid of the 9. And then I get rid of the 44, 48, 52, 54, 58. So I'll get rid of the 44, 48. And hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to move on to 3A here. Now this is where I divided things into 10 different color groups. Okay, so this is the best odds. It's 50-50. I know that 5 of these color groups cannot come up. Okay, so the odds are pretty good, so I don't mind picking 2 here. Like over here with the sixes, with only 6 color groups, I really don't want to push my luck saying, oh, this one and this one, and I feel that if I could get this one correct, getting a second one correct, boy, the odds go just way, way, way up. Okay, so, but over here, I got pretty good odds that I could get 2 of these correct. Okay, so, again, having the advantage of 2 numbers at the top, I know that a 000 comes up a lot. So for a 000 opportunity, I have the blue, purple, yellow, and that's it. And what I like to look for is the 000 that hasn't come up in a while. Okay, so here you can see it's right here, the purple, right at the top, and then this yellow hasn't come up in a while. Okay, so I'm thinking that this is due. You can see a bunch of green over here, so I think that this is going to be a red number, which again means I believe the majority of the numbers will be over here. Certainly this purple is looking pretty good. Okay, so I was just looking to see what's left. I got the 53, 57, and 62 with this purple. Okay, but I'm going to go with the yellow. And I'll get rid of these yellow numbers. Okay, the 4, 11, 18. So I'll get rid of the 4. Then I get rid of the 44, 49, 58, 63. So I'll get rid of the 4 and the 49, and hopefully those 2 numbers do not come up. Okay, so moving on. Here I see a boatload of green, so I'm thinking that this is going to be a red number, which means I believe the majority will be over here. And this brown has a 000 opportunity, and it's really hasn't come up all that much, so I'm going to go with the brown. So I know that 18's gone, so I'll go with the 8, 16, 24. And then the 41, 50, 58. So I'll get rid of the 41, and hopefully that number does not come up. Okay, so moving on. My last option card for this one. So really red over here. Now it's going really green. I'm thinking that this is going to be a green number. Kind of like this light blue. Okay, so I was just seeing what was left. Okay, so what I'm looking at is the 000 opportunities here. I got it here in the yellow turquoise, and that's it. I'm kind of thinking that this is going to be a green. So I'm going to leave this one alone, and I'm going to go to the overview and take a look at this. Okay, so again, I'm looking for 03 that hasn't come up in a while. And here it is with the brown. It's been way down here. Where you can see that all the others, you know, they're pretty close to the top. Yeah, I'm going to go with this brown. Okay, so I think that there's all three of these option cards. I think the brown areas will have a 0 to it. Okay, so I'll get rid of the 21927. So I'll get rid of the 27. And then the 36, 45, 46, 54. Let's say no, 45, 46, 54, yep. So I'll get rid of the 36, 45. And hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so moving on to the next one. Again, I picked this one in brown already. And I'll go with this one as well. So I'll get rid of the 8. I know that's gone. 10, 20, I'm pretty sure those are gone. 30, I know the 36. So 46, 56 maybe. Get rid of the 56. And hopefully that number does not come up. Okay, so now moving on to 3B, which is the same thing except different numbers, of course, different groups. So went through this big green streak. I think that this is going to be a red number. I think it's going to stay on a red streak. So I think the majority of the numbers will be over here. So I'm looking at the 000s for yellow and brown, and I kind of like the yellow a little bit better. I think I'll go with yellow. So I know that 9's gone 16, 25, 33. So I'll get rid of the 25, 33. And then the 37, 46, 55. So I'll get rid of the 37, 55. And again, hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so moving on. Again, I see a bunch of green over here. Only seen one time where it's a, you know, triple red. I think this is going to be a red number, which again, I think the majority is over here. And, you know, look at this. 5, 15, 25, 34, 35, 45, 55. I got the 5 and the 35. You know, looking at over here, I keep track of, you know, what the majority has been in either odds or evens. And looking at this, you can see that, you know, even numbers have been coming up a lot. Here it is, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 drawings have the majority of even numbers. And now I think that this is going to go on an odd streak here. Okay, so I think there's going to be more odd numbers than even numbers that come up for this drawing. So I kind of really do like the 5 and the 35. I said no orange numbers, so I got to get rid of the 29. Okay, so moving on. Again, I think that this is going to be red. So I got the yellow, pink, and light blue to choose from. And I think I'll go with the yellow, just because it has this hit streak here going on. Okay, so I'll get rid of the 218, which I know are pretty much gone. 44, 52, and the 60, 68. So I'll get rid of the 68. Okay, moving on. Again, looking at all this red. I think that this looking at this a little closer here, I was just gonna, my first instinct was green, I guess, but there hasn't been 3 red marks in a row. Like here's 3 green. I don't know, I'm thinking that this is going to be a red. So again, I think the majority of the numbers will be over here. Okay, so I'm having a hard time with this one, so I'm just going to go right to the overview and see if I see any 03s that hasn't come up in a while. Or maybe it's due to double up, like right here with this brown. Look how many singles. Okay, finally it triples up here. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe 10 will be a lucky number. Okay, so I'm gonna get all the brown ones here. Okay, 12 to the 29, the 35 to the 53. Ugh. I guess I'll get rid of it, and hopefully that 5 comes up. Okay, so moving on. Brown again. Okay, the 8 to the 26, and then the 38 to the 62. So I'll get rid of the 62. Okay, so I'm getting down here. I got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so the reason why I believe in this game is that one time, actually a couple years ago now, I reduced the numbers down to 10 numbers, and the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers landed within those 10 numbers. Okay, so I only got 2 of them correct that day, but I looked at it and said, wow, I gave myself a really good chance. winning a really good prize. Okay, so again, this is why I believe in this game. So we'll keep on going. Again, brown. Okay, 38, 46, 56, 64. Get rid of the 64. And then the 42, 60. Get rid of the 42. Okay, so now moving on to my last one here. I don't know, I kind of think that this is going to be a green number. I got the turquoise and I got the purple. Alright, so I'm just looking. I kind of like this orange and green to have a hit here, so. Okay, so I'm going to move on from this one. I don't know, I don't have a good gut feeling about it, so. Okay, so I got a bunch of triple zeros here. The green, yellow, pink, brown, blue. Last time a triple zero happened in the pink is way down here, so I'm going to go with this pink. Hopefully it's due to have a triple zero to it, so I'm going to go with the 210. I know that those are gone. 43.68, I'm pretty sure that they're gone. 37.46.61, yeah, all gone. So, all right, moving on. Okay, so it's been a while since it's had a triple green here, so I'm thinking that this is going to be green, which again, I think the majority of the numbers will be on this side. So I got the red, blue, and orange for a triple zero. Kind of liking the red. Eight, nine. I'm pretty sure all those numbers are gone. Kind of like this brown to have a hit to it. Maybe even light blue as well. Okay, so looking at this brown, I see the 47 is still there. So I kind of like that 47. Okay, so moving on, I'm going to go to the overview, see if I see any 03s. There's one in the orange that hasn't come up in a while. like that orange. Ugh. Well, maybe not. Kind of don't mind it here. 27, 30, 40, 42, 49, 58. Okay, there's nothing there. Okay, so I've gone through all of my option cards for this Powerball number 3. So now I'm going to go to Powerball number 2 where I have at least one number at the top. Okay, so alright, so instead of dealing with this number 4 here, group 4, I'm going to go right to group 10 where I have the best odds. Okay, so I'm going to go and look for a 000 opportunity, which hasn't come up in a while. So I kind of like this brown. I see a lot of green through here, so I'm thinking that this is going to be a red number. Which over here, this purple. $39.57. Didn't I see the 57 still? Yeah, I still got the 57. Okay, so I kind of like this brown. I think I'll go for the brown, see if there's anything. I think the 7. Okay, see if that 1119's gone. Yeah, okay, so I'm getting down there. I got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Down to 10, so well, I don't know. I think that this is going to be a red number. Kind of like this green to have a hit to it. 313, 41, 51. I got that 51 still there, so I like the 47 and I like the 51. I think I like the 57 as well, and the 5. It's probably not going to be all 5 odds, so I probably want an even number. Either the 66, 28, 32, or the 6. Okay, let's keep on going. Kind of like this to be a green number. this yellow to have a hit to it. All right. Okay, so look at this orange. 03 is way down here, where all the others are just about to the top. So I'm going to go with this orange. Okay, 22, 29, 30. Nothing there. Nothing here. Okay, we've got the orange again. 8, 16, 23, 26, 31, 32, 33. Get rid of the 32. And that's it. Go with orange again. I get rid of the 69. Okay, so I got 3, 4, and 4, 8. So I'm gonna go to my 8A here. This is a group 8, so I know that three of these color groups cannot have a winning Powerball number to it. K is 03, does come up a lot. I mean a 000 here. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next option card. Oops. Okay, so this red kind of sticks out. And lots of red recently. I'm going to go for this red. See if it knocks out anything. Okay, the 18 to the 22 and the 57 to the 60. Kind of like that 57. But I'm going to get rid of it. Okay, so moving on. Looking at this blue with these 5 zeros right here. Even this red had so many zeros. Okay, still got the 67. I think I like that to come back up again. Moving on. Okay, group 8B here. I think that this is going to be a green number, so I think the majority of the numbers will be over here. Okay, moving on. Haven't seen the 000 here in a while in the orange. But I think I'm going to go with the red. I think this is going to be a 0 here. So it's the 130. I know that that's gone. 1624, 35, 65, 50, 58. Yeah, I don't remember seeing anything. Okay, so moving on. I think this is going to be a green number. Alright, moving on. That's it. So moving on to the 8C. Taking this yellow to have a hit. Okay, so I like the 51. Again, I'm thinking this is going to be green. Kind of like this orange to have a 0 to it. So I get rid of that 6. Oh, I think that would get rid of the 47 too, won't it? Yeah, I can't do that. I like the 47. Kind of like this gray to have a 000 to it here. Okay, so I think I'm going to get rid of the 6 and the 66. And that will bring me down to 5 numbers. Okay, so these are the 5 numbers I'm going to go with. I'll go with the 5, the 28, the 47, the 51, and the 67. Okay, so now I need a Powerball number. Okay, so the last one was 14. Okay, so looking at this, You can see that this is 3 to 2, but before that was 4 to 1, 5 to 0. Okay, a 3 to 2 comes up a lot. Okay, so look at the majority of things of how many times a 3 to 2 comes up. Okay, so since there was just a 4 to 1 and a 5 to 0 right here, I'm going to say that this is going to be 3 to 2. So there's already 3 blues, so I think there's going to be another red mark, which means I believe the numbers are going to be high, 14 to 26. Okay, then over here I just see a bunch of black. So I think this next one's going to be a red number. I think it's going to be odds. So I think it's going to be a high odd number. Okay, so the oldest ones that haven't come up in a while is the 25, the 19, and the 21. Especially the 19 and 21. I think the 25 has come up. No, I guess not. So the 25, 19, 21. The 21 is the oldest, you could say. Okay, so I'm thinking I'm going to go with that 21. Okay, so again, the numbers I'm going to go with are the 5, 28, 47, 51, 67, and the Powerball 21. Okay, so like Sherlock Holmes would say, it's a matter of deduction. So if, and the big word here is if, these blocked out numbers don't come up, then these 5 highlighted numbers have to come up. Okay, so let's go over the odds. To get the grand prize, all 5 white ball numbers and the red ball, the odds of winning it are 292 million. Okay, my game is kind of geared up for the white ball numbers, so just to get the 5 white ball numbers correct, the odds are 1 in 11,688,000. Okay, so in other words, you can make nearly 12 million 5-number combinations out of 69 numbers. Okay, so I don't want to give any kind of illusions that this is going to be easy to win. Okay, so with this 5, if you could just get the 5 white ball numbers correct, it pays $1 million. And if you play it with the power play, then it pays $2 million. Okay, so that $2 million prize is there every single drawing. Okay, so another great prize to win would be 4 white ball numbers and a red ball. That pays $50,000 plus the power play if you play it. And you can see the odds are just about 1 in a million. Okay, so going over a budget, I do like to play responsibly. Okay, so if I spend $3 on a drawing, there's 3 drawings per week. There's 52 weeks in a year. If I play every single drawing in the year, I will spend $468 playing my game, Decoding the Powerball. Okay, so in closing, I'd just like to thank you for watching. Again, if you made it this far, I certainly appreciate it. Okay, again, you can support my game through my Patreon page at patreon.com/Decoding the Powerball. And if you'd like to give me any feedback, then please email me at decodingpowerball@gmail.com. Again, there's no "the" in there, it's just decodingpowerball@gmail.com. And as always, with $96 million on the line, I want to wish you the best of luck with your picks.